Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joseph Najjar with Oz Arab Media, and I'd like to welcome you to the program today. Today, we are joined by Dr. Anthony Rahayel, the founder of No Garlic, No Onions. As we can tell by the name, what it advocates for is pretty straightforward, but at the same time, it does um, promote other initiatives, for example, tourism and other forms of media and whatnot. We are joined today by Dr. Rahayel to discuss this, as well as to discuss fundraising in collaboration with Made by Nature. Without further ado, it's time for us to get into it. Dr. Rahayel, thanks for joining us. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Well, we're glad to have you. Maybe you could start off just by telling us the background of No Garlic, No Onions.
I'm personally Anthony Rahayel from Lebanon, a dental surgeon by profession, worked in the field for more than 11 years, and then one day decided to take a different course and start promoting Lebanon. So Lebanon, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful countries on earth, has a lot of potential and more than 16 million Lebanese across the globe. And I'm on a mission to reunite them, show them Lebanon, the true Lebanon they probably forgot about, and trying to build up a better country, better education, better future, and build up hope for everyone around. It started in 2012 as a food blog, writing reviews about restaurants and experiences. Turned out to be a TV show in 2014, and probably the only positive TV show on national television that shows the villagers of Lebanon, the heroes, every single person that has achieved anything. It can start by a manouche, a bakery, an artisan, and everything in between. With more than 1,000 villages in Lebanon, 1,500 plus or minus. I've tried to visit as many as I can, connect with the roots, connect with the villages, connect with the expats relating to that village that has left for a long time. And this is how it started and expanded along the ways with street food market, the first one in the Middle East, and then a box of goodies that can give you the goodies of the villages while you're staying at home. Lots of donations, lots of support, help initiatives, and lately traveling around the world to connect with the Lebanese success stories and connect them back with their country as much as I can.
I have to say, I like that a lot. Unification through food. I imagine it's a very, very popular initiative. Um, I do have to ask, obviously, in recent years, Lebanon's been going through its fair share of issues, its economic crisis, the explosion in Beirut, and now we have the war between Israel and Hamas. How has these recent challenges impacted the work you do with No Garlic, No Onions in regards to essentially uniting the Lebanese towards a common love of food?
To be able to succeed in the mission, you need to understand. One needs to understand that Lebanon has been in its own turmoil and lots of challenges since probably 6,000 years back. So Lebanon has never been a calm country. It is an envied country, and this is why, for years and years, hundreds of years, we have been occupied by as many as you want. Without going into details, Lebanon has been occupied, and in recent years, since after probably the First World War, and after finishing from the Ottoman Empire, it continued with the Civil War, the neighbors that liked us a lot, and so on and so forth, and finally, what's happening lately, and internally, all the problems, all the economical crisis, the famous big explosion of Beirut, the world has known about. So accordingly, you should not focus on this and never stop. In my opinion, you need to focus on Lebanon as is. See that Lebanon is an envied country and everybody wants a piece of it. It is the door to the Middle East. It is on the Mediterranean Sea. It has lots to offer. It's probably the best cuisine in the world with very intelligent people that live in it, in and out or outside of it. And again, these 16 million expats have built a huge and big reputation all across the globe, from being presidents to ministers to success stories, business owners, and they have shaped lots of countries to what they are today. So, uh, putting that in mind, nothing will stop you. Yes, challenges will make you stronger. Challenges will let you adapt along the way from a simple TV show, food blog about food, to stories, to donations, to non-profit work, to initiatives, and we're adapting according to what's happening around. So lately things have been hard, I would say, but not focusing on the hard part only. Let's focus on that amazing summer we had. And every time there is something positive, happy, beautiful in Lebanon, we are ready because we have been prepared for hundreds of years to have that downfall afterwards. And after an amazing summer, let's talk about that. And the thousands of expats that came, and the millions of tourists that visited, and all the hotels were full, all restaurants were full, lots of new businesses have opened. That summer was one outstanding one. You would probably hear more English on the streets than Arabic. And then look what's happening as we speak. But yes, we will continue nevertheless, never, despite everything, continuing to support that country, to believe in that country, and trying to do as much as we can for the youth of this country to continue and never forget hope, or never stop dreaming. So No Garlic, No Onions along the way has created an initiative called Made by Nature, which supports more than 650 families, more than 3,000 people, selling their produce, the made in Lebanon produce, to Lebanon, mainly to start. And we help them create that product to a certain international standard to be able to export. And we are exporting to Australia as we speak, and different other countries, to try to support the local economy, the local families as much as we can. And along the way, lots of problems, issues, export, connections with other countries, sustainability, and so on. But we continue, we believe, and yes, we can do it until day's end.
How did the collaboration with Made by Nature come about?
So Made by Nature is a local creation, is a personal creation between myself and a friend of mine, Mark Beirute.
Yes.
Mark Beirute is a renowned local activist and famous agricultural engineer. So we started that collaboration to create the world biggest Moune, or local produce shop in the world. 1,000 square meter of made in Lebanon. Everything you might imagine, local produce, Moune, jams, frike, anything a family can produce. You know, Lebanon is known for something called Moune. Moune is that local produce because in Lebanon, usually, probably hundreds of years back, and not too long ago, probably 60 or 70 years back, the villages, due to the weather, would work during summer, prepare food for winter. So they would work for probably 8 months, eat and spend that produce for the last 5, which or 4, which is during winter time. And accordingly, this morning is something very passionate, very emotional, made at home, made with premium ingredients, with natural ingredients, with the made by Lebanon, made by the villages of Lebanon. So we started this collaboration to gather around all the money from the villages. So instead of coming to Lebanon and traveling around Lebanon, so come to that one place where you can buy and support the country. And at the end, the 3,000 produce, or 3.5 thousand produce we have, how can you find them? How can you buy them? So why not put them in one place, put one effort in marketing, let the world know about them, try to export them as much as we can. And now lately, 1 week ago, Lebanese honey has been exported to Europe after 10 years of waiting. So these are one of the achievements Lebanon has been ongoing to support the families. So this is the collaboration we started. So anyone can go online, madebynaturelb.com, and buy produce. Anyone coming to Lebanon can go to Made by Nature in the new location now in Antelias, and support Lebanon in a way or another, and support the local economy in a million other ways. So lots of people say, I want to help Lebanon. How can I do it? I don't trust Lebanon. I don't trust the politicians in Lebanon. I don't trust NGOs in Lebanon. Fine, very simply, just buy from Lebanon. By buying from Lebanon, you would support the economy. By buying from Lebanon, you would support families. By just buying from Lebanon, you would make a huge difference in our country. And this is why I travel the world trying to ask for support, call it, not help, just by buying Lebanon. If every single Lebanese around the world, 16 million, as I said, would just eat one manouche a day. And imagine how much can we do. Imagine how much za'atar can we export, how much
Yeah.
produce can go into consumption. So this is the main idea of made by nature, and hoping to continue as long as we can.
Well, that would be a lot of manouche, but you know what? I'm down to open my mouth and give out a helping hand. I have to ask. So on your website, it says you visited 44 countries, correct?
Yeah,
Out of those
46
40,
lately.
okay. Out of all those countries, what was your favorite culinary experience?
Lots of them. I would go into somewhat unusual for non-Lebanese. I would say Iceland.
Okay.
France definitely has something very famous to offer. Italy is phenomenal, very close to Lebanon, Mediterranean diet, lots of
Yeah.
vegetables and beautifully done. Italy is memorable. In love with Mexican cuisine, which has lots of Lebanese inspirations, considering Lebanese expats and Lebanese have created it, of which the El Pastor, which is the Mexican shawarma created by Lebanese, and everybody knows about that. And definitely Lebanese food. So in the countries, Australia is one of the countries that have preserved the authenticity of Lebanese cuisine without lots of adaptations that have happened on the way. So in the United States and Canada, you would definitely find Lebanese cuisine, but it has been adapted to speak the language of the country. In Australia, when you say Lebanese, you enjoy it the same way, that hummus, tabbouleh, and everything in between. So my favorite three cuisines in the world would be Lebanese, number one by far.
Of
Two
course.
comes Italian, and three comes Mexican. And then I've had lots of experiences I can recall, of which Malaysia, where it's called Malaysia Truly Asia, where all Asia is in one place, and you can enjoy all of Asian cuisine in one country, and that was amazing. Dubai, one of
Yeah.
my favorite places to live in, has more than 180 nationalities, and every nationality has brought something together into one place. But let's focus on what we enjoy best and love. Lebanese cuisine. Lebanon definitely,
Of course.
and comes after it Australia, Dubai third, and ongoing.
I have to agree with you about Dubai. There's a lot of culture there and there's a lot of luxury, so you really feel the love in the food there. But I want to circle back to Iceland. You mentioned that in your answer. What kind of cuisine could you have in Iceland? Because I've never heard anyone mention that place before.
Iceland is one of my favorite places to visit. It's a very small country in the middle of the ocean. 300,000 people live in it only. Very expensive and very high end. So it's clean, clear, very upscale. And when you eat an international cuisine, definitely seafood, one of the main things they know how to do. And everything's done to perfection. So that culinary approach, that approach to perfection, that finesse, that class, this is a different country than anything you might imagine or have visited in your life. It's 100% sustainable. The water that comes to your house, the hot water, is naturally pumped from under the ground. It's a volcanic island, and very cold in winter, down to minus 20. Very warm and enjoyable during summer. Beautiful scenery, greenery. So people, I won't say are very happy because it's alone at the end of the
Yeah.
world, but it's clean, neat, professional, and I enjoy it. And when you eat food, you enjoy the details of food in it.
All right, now it's on my bucket list to visit.
Should be.
Um, it is now. In your work with no garlic, no onions, what have you found the most challenging aspect of it, and what have you found the most rewarding?
The first challenge was to create that TV show because putting a TV show about villages in Lebanon was okay. Why the hell would you do that? Who would watch something like that? How would you get
Audience,
advertising on it? The TV said. So that
yeah,
was a challenge, and probably being a traveler speaking Lebanese, Arabic, traveling around, talking, eating. This was a challenge. Going to a restaurant or a bakery or anyone with a camera in hand and saying, "I'm coming to film your food." And this was okay. Why the hell would you film my food? This was new to the country. This was new to the Arab region. Anyway, And then I started. 10 years in the making. It was done for free completely. So lots of investment from my end. Lots of investment from my end. And trying to create a certain I would say content about it, trying to create a credibility, trying to create a name known all around, so people can connect and say, okay, I will give Lebanon a second chance. I will watch more. I will reconnect with my roots. I will see what the villages have to offer. I will see beyond of what the news tells you about Lebanon. That little tiny country, and probably one of the smallest in the world, has a lot to offer. Has a lot to offer. It is definitely one of the most beautiful, not only in scenery, but in what it is, in the family values, in the villages, in the diversity, in the food, in the weather, and lots of things. And every single thing you see negative outside Lebanon or in any country around the world you live in, you would see positively in Lebanon. Definitely, it has its issues. Definitely, it has all the politicians that are
What
tearing it
go?
apart. It definitely has. But we're not here to talk about that, and I'm not here to talk about that. So on my channels, it's only about positive things. It's only about happy things. So some people ask me sometimes, talk about this or talk about that, or talk about what's the problems happening. I'm not here to talk about the problems happening. The news would do the job and enough in that. So this is a main challenge which goes on and on and on. What do you do today? Should I talk about the problems happening in the Middle East, or should I continue posting about what I do and showing my biggest smile ever? Would people understand that, or say, okay, does he come from another planet? So you would have to adapt and do whatever you believe in, and not what people asked you to.
Yeah. Well, I imagine that would be, pardon me, I imagine that would be one of the more rewarding aspects. You're giving a face and a voice to many Lebanese business owners who work in food, who for so long have probably been ignored, who feel like who they've been ripped off by a corrupt government who hasn't really understood their needs, but mostly taken from them. But you showed up with a camera and gave them a face and a voice. So I imagine that would be one of the more rewarding aspects of your job.
Definitely, the most rewarding part is taking a selfie on the streets of every single city I visit around the world. I can tell you that I'm never alone, never ever. There is someone who knows me in every single city I visit everywhere, and the welcoming I get when I visit a country where Lebanese live is definitely rewarding. When I connect with these Lebanese and they tell me about their village, about how they watched their city, how they reconnected, how the success of the mission I believe in is happening. Yes, this is definitely rewarding, and it lets me continue and want to continue for more and more.
Well, obviously, we wish you the best in that endeavor always. Where do you see No Garlic, No Onions in the next 5 years? And are there any collaborations with anyone at this point?
No Garlic Onions is going to visit more than the 46 countries I've been to, more and more and more. I'm going to make sure I come to Australia again and again every year. Traveling to the United States more and more to cover all the villages, all the cities in the States. I have a plan to do Canada again, which I did twice. Um, Definitely, my dream is to be on Netflix with a show in Lebanese language that can show the world Lebanon and the Arab countries. My hashtags are food unites us, and that will continue. The other one is uniting Arab culture and definitely being a more united region with all what we can offer and show the world instead of fighting all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely made by nature with one, two, three, four shops in Lebanon and outside of Lebanon, exporting as much as we can, and hopefully exporting up to three, four, and five containers every month of Lebanese produce and things coming from Lebanon. So dreams are big, very big. Creating probably a Lebanese street food market that can go and showcase Lebanese culture in all cities of the world. So we believe, and I believe things will happen if with God's will.
Inshallah. Um, I would like you to give a message to aspiring food bloggers out there. What would you say to them as they start this journey in life?
Very simply, do what you know how to do, do in what you believe in. Food blogging is not any person that has a phone and can start taking pictures of food. And this is unfortunately what you're seeing around. Food blogging, travel blogging, people's blogging, showcasing heroes and so whatever is definitely something you need to believe in. You need to learn a lot. You need to understand a lot. You need to see how restaurants work, how kitchens work, how many people are at stake. So at the end, people ask me sometimes, everything you eat is positive. We never saw anything negative on your social media. I'm not here to close businesses. I'm not here to just say it's not good, or etc. Imagine I only remember and I always remember how many people are at stake, how many employees are working in that, how much effort is put. With a normal dinner we had yesterday, 100 people dinner we had yesterday, there were 15 chefs working for 12 long hours, two bartenders, seven waiters, two managers, and a chef coming all the way from France. So imagine how many people you would jeopardize if you start by saying, okay, I don't like it, bad restaurant, don't come in. Is this what food is? Is this what food blogging is? So on a positive note, yes, do whatever you believe in. People would feel the passion. People feel the passion, and not a nice camera that can take good pictures. And whatever people would feel, they will push you forward, and you will grow forward. You need to have a mission, and not only a camera taking pictures of food. And this is definitely what I would. Say to all people that would want to start something new today, follow your heart, follow the passion.
All right. Anthony, final question. How has your journey with No Garlic, No Onions shaped your perspective on life, culture, community, and everything else that revolves around our world?
Imagine a person living in a clinic for 11 years between four white walls, receiving people and enjoying what I do. I really enjoyed it and still enjoy it. But it was a different perspective of life. The minute you go out and start exploring, discovering, traveling, I do travel 250 days a year, not for my personal happiness, but to meet people, to connect with people, to create content, to bring people together, to add fun to life, to share content for people's happiness. So that made me a different person, definitely. Seeing how beautiful things happen around the world, how can you showcase them, film them, how this world comes together, and unfortunately barriers of countries separate us, the news separates us, religion separates us, but at the end we're amazing human beings with a lot of potential and lots of intelligence to build up a happy world, a beautiful world, a green world. And barriers come in to just separate us for nothing. So on that mission, traveling, waking up early, spending amazing times with everything I do, and trying to learn and understand every single day, how can I take that learning and re-give it. So today we're together on an interview, and definitely not talking about myself, but trying to share something, show something, change perspective. And this is how I believe the world needs to be. The more we share love, food, and happy moments, the more it will return to us, and that way we can live in a peaceful world.
That was a beautiful message, sir. On behalf of the Ozark Media, I'd like to thank you for it and for joining us today. To all our viewers, I'd like to thank you for joining us today as well. Obviously, anybody who wants to watch this interview again, it will still be up online. So once again, thank you, and thank you, sir. We wish you the best in your culinary journey, and I think in your journey of helping the people of the world, but mostly in Lebanon as well. So thank you.
Thank you so much, and see you soon.
Thank you.